Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411, and tonight's unboxing is on Cannamist Spray. This is a sublingual spray for sleep. There is a cannabinoid in here called CBN. Of the cannabis plant, there's several different active ingredients called cannabinoids, and chemically, each one has a different property. Everybody knows what THC does. That gets you high. It's very psychoactive. CBD, most people have heard about. That doesn't get you high, and it actually helps with inflammation and immunity. There's another cannabinoid called CBN, and CBN does not get you high either. There's no psychoactive properties to it, but it does stimulate a certain part of the brain that helps with sleepiness. I've done videos on a couple of other unboxings. This is one of my favorite, and it works well. I just don't like the sugar component. I'm trying to avoid taking sugar. It leads to insulin resistance eventually. Although one gummy only has 1 gram of sugar in it, I still don't want that. It does work well if you're having difficulty with sleep, or if you've turned 60 and you can't get to sleep, or your sleep is fragmented. And that's not good, because the more fragmented your sleep is, the lower your testosterone gets, the less you'll be able to tolerate the stressors of the day, the less you'll be able to get out of your workouts. So I really think that most of us that are waking up in the middle of the night to pee or have a hot flash, that's not right. Even if you can get back to sleep immediately, your stages of sleep will be disrupted. And there are a couple of other things that you can do if you don't like using cannabinoids, as far as melatonin spray, L-theanine, shading your eyes at night, plugging your ears up, cold temperature in your room, not eating 2 hours before you sleep. All these things are helpful. But if you've done all that and you're still having problems, before you go to Ambien, which is fine if you have to go to it, I would suggest trying one of these products, mostly for the CBN properties. The only problem with trying to utilize CBN for your sleep at night is that the cultivators in central Illinois don't separate out CBN by itself. Inevitably, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of CBD and a little bit of THC. THC, if you're super sensitive, can last into the morning when you wake up, so you have to be careful. I did an unboxing on Squeeze, and that would knock me out at night, but occasionally I would wake up a little bit dizzy or groggy. I didn't like that feeling. It did not last, and I was able to get some good sleep. Unfortunately, they don't make that product anymore. There are other drink substitutes that you can make as mocktails, especially if you're trying to cut back on your alcohol intake at night. I will still use melatonin spray occasionally. I keep this by the bedside, and it's great because if I wake up middle of the night for some reason and I don't want to get up to take a pill, I can just spray this under the tongue. I've learned not to use melatonin all the time because of downregulation issues, and I rely on L-theanine more. If you still wake up middle of the night, it's nice to have it because you don't have to get up, you don't have to swallow a pill, you don't have to drink any water, you just spray it under your tongue. Some of you will have headaches, and that's not a good thing to deal with. But one thing is for sure, if you do wake up middle of the night, try not to get too stimulated by light. Try not to look at your phone. Try not to turn on the lights. Try not to get up and walk. All these things will activate your brain, and even if you're dead tired and you get back to sleep, your brain will have a notch in the timeline to say, wait a minute, last night I was up doing something, I'm going to wake up again. So if you do wake up middle of the night, try to fight the urge, and also have a go-to activity that will bring the brain into that rhythmic slow wave sleep again. I do the rosary. I also do 4-7-8 breathing. Or if you still can't get to sleep, you can get a book out and read it. If you have to turn on your phone or your screen, please use a Lux app to take the blue out of the spectrum of light that's hitting your eyes. The more the eyes and retina sense as far as blue light, the more you will be awake. Even if you're exhausted and you get back to sleep, the brain doesn't turn off, so you wake up totally groggy. So let's unbox this and see how it works. The print, which is almost microscopic on this thing, says 2 milligrams of CBD, 2 milligrams of THC, and 1 milligram of combined CBN, CBC, CBDA, THCA. I'm hoping with tracking my sleep, I'll be able to get better REM than what I've been having for the last couple of nights. I just came back from Dallas, and usually in hotels I cannot sleep properly. It breaks my rhythm. So typically when I get back from conferences or travel, I'll try to reset my circadian rhythm. So this is how the package looks, and that is the spray. I think this costs 20 bucks. Don't smell a flavor to this, but it hasn't been primed yet. So let me just make sure I'm going to spray it on me and not the camera. So 1 dose is equal to 3 sprays, and you aim it under the tongue. So here we go. So I'm going to leave the liquid under my tongue, but I had to spray it a couple times to prime the pump. It tastes very fruity. Oop, I had to swallow that. I should have left it under my tongue. I'll do another spray. I'm going to leave it under my tongue for a little while because the mucosa under the tongue absorbs the oil. This is an MCT oil, so maybe that's why it gives it its flavor. When it stays under the tongue and comes in contact with the mucosa is lined with blood vessels, and it should go straight into the brain. If you swallow it, which you can do, you will get it eventually to the brain. Anything that goes into the stomach has to go through the liver first, and the liver will process it and probably break it down. It's called the first pass effect, and it has to go through the liver, which takes a little bit of time versus having it absorbed into the bloodstream capillaries and into the brain. In fact, right now, my throat's really dry from some of the cannabinoids. What I'm going to do is keep my Garmin on, measure my sleep. The Garmin has some algorithms. It's not exactly the best sleep calculator. And then through whatever formula they use, they figure that you're in deep sleep, light sleep, or REM sleep. And they also determine when you're awake. It probably has to do with the pulse, movement, and oxygenation. Since I arrived in Dallas and flew back, the last couple nights have been interruptive. So I'll measure through the night and I'll let you know subjectively how my sleep was. Okay, so I'll see you in the morning.
Well, good morning, and I will tell you, I still had fragmented sleep last night. When I looked at the tracking on my Garmin, it said fair sleep, and that's much better than poor sleep. Obviously, I can't reset my whole circadian rhythm overnight, but this is a positive. I'm a little bit surprised. One positive is that it's a spray, so compared to all the other CBN products, you don't have to take it in gummy form, which I unfortunately think there's usually going to be some sugar or gelatin in the gummy form. Number two, because it is a spray and you can apply it sublingually under the tongue, you will have a faster effect because of that mucosal absorption versus waiting for degradation in the stomach, absorption through the stomach wall to the portal vasculature and then into the liver for breakdown and then distributing through the bloodstream to the brain, which will take some time. The third positive note, which I did not deploy last night, is if you wake up middle of the night and you can't get to sleep, you can always try a single dose or a fraction of a dose. So a single dose of Spectra is 3 sprays. If you wake up middle of the night, my suggestion, and I'll try it next time, spray 1 spray under your tongue middle of the night as you fade off. And that's what I used to do with the melatonin spray. The benefit was that middle of the night, even if it was say 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to wake up at 5. If you wanted to try to encourage the brain to sleep, melatonin, even if dosed middle of the night, and it should gently encourage the brain to go back into deep sleep quickly and REM, hopefully. I was tempted to spray this again middle of the night. I've been waking up about 2 to 3 a.m. since coming back from Dallas. Breaking that 2 to 3 a.m. waking cycle will take some time, but this shows promise. I don't expect everybody to require a sleep aid forever. I think it is important to gently reset their circadian rhythm, which is the sleep-wake cycle, by triggers during the day, especially with regards to seeing light, getting outside, being active, your eating schedule, and the composition of your food. There also is great architecture in the sleep cycle that can be initiated to start sleep, to keep you asleep. Now, from college days, you would think, I can get by with 3 to 4 hours, just give me a tongue of coffee. But that doesn't really change the hormones in the system. It just gives you an excessive stimulant. I mean, if you're going to do that, why don't you just take an ADD medicine like methylphenidate and really wake up in the morning? But I'm just kidding. That's going down a bad cycle. That's not the way to use medicines. And you will not fool the brain. You'll still age excessively fast. When you don't honor the human tradition of getting good sleep, being active, eating on time, having communion with other people, and then having a ritual at night, which, because of internet and cable and phones being so portable, the generation now is really destroying those hours of sleep. So overall, give this a thumbs up. I'll try to comment in about a week on how I reset my circadian rhythm and how it worked. And of course, the question is, will it be available in all dispensaries for everybody? Again, the cultivators are coming up with some great product. Hopefully they sustain the production line. But this is just another alternative that you can throw into your toolbox to get you to age gracefully, without disease, without too many medicines, and to be happy or woke, so to speak. If you've tried this product or other products wherever you are, please put them in the comments section down below, and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Or if you need deeper help and more personalized planning, be a patient of mine on Herbal 411. My office is in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, but I do virtual visits as well. I can order blood tests that you can have done in your states, or imaging tests where we can take advantage of healing from a distance. Thanks for watching. Consider sharing this with people who are struggling to get healthy with deep sleep, and I'll see you at the next video.